Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a really eye-opening piece of source material all about the 5 hidden traps keeping beginners broke. And look, the author here hits the nail on the head right away with the frustration so many of us know well. You're grinding, you're putting in the hours, but somehow you just feel permanently stuck in the financial rat race. So if you're working your tail off but still feel like you're spinning your wheels, I want you to hear this. It is probably not an income issue. Instead, it usually comes down to totally normal, seemingly smart behaviors. Things that look right on the surface but are secretly acting as traps, quietly keeping people broke for years. We're not talking about giving up your morning latte here. We're talking about deep structural errors.
Now, real quick, before we dive into the list, I gotta give you a heads up. Stick around for mistake number 4. The source points out that this 4th mistake is literally the most expensive, least talked about trap out of the whole bunch. It's something almost everyone does, completely convinced they're just playing it safe, when in reality, it's costing them an absolute fortune.
All right, let's get into it. Mistake number 1, the account illusion. This is a purely mechanical trap, and honestly, you might be caught in it right now. It's keeping all your cash sitting completely idle in a regular checking account. It feels safe, right? It's exactly what we're all taught to do as beginners. But mathematically, it is a massive misstep.
Think about this, 0.01%. That is the microscopic, honestly shocking interest rate regular banks are paying you right now. To put that into perspective, the source breaks down the real-world impact. Say you've got $5,000 sitting in regular checking. Over a whole year, you earn a completely pathetic 50 cents, half a buck. But then, contrast that 0.01% yield with a high-yield savings account, which returns around 4 to 5%. By just moving that exact same money, literally just parking it in a different digital account, you earn hundreds of dollars every single year. Zero extra effort. But missing this one easy step, it costs beginners dearly. Which brings us right to our next structural issue. Mistake number 2, the single income trap. Simply put, if your day job is your only paycheck, you are exactly one bad week away from severe financial stress. Relying entirely on just one single source of income is incredibly precarious. Honestly, no matter how secure your job might feel right now. The source highlights a profound truth here, noting that even an extra $200 a month from a side hustle completely changes your entire financial landscape. The fastest path to getting ahead isn't necessarily begging your boss for a raise. The people who actually accelerate their wealth, they're the ones building a second income stream, even a really small one, as early as humanly possible. But hey, not all these traps are mechanical. Some are totally psychological. Enter mistake number 3, the ego trap. This is the dangerous, sneaky game of buying things just to look successful instead of actually becoming successful. It's the shiny new car, the designer clothes, the absolute latest phone, all bought on credit, while your actual savings account is dangerously close to zero. It is the ultimate showdown of looking rich versus being rich. The source actually calls this the single biggest trap in America. Sure, the new car and the brand name clothes make you look wealthy to your neighbors, but having real untouched savings is what actually makes you wealthy. Sadly, most folks accidentally choose the illusion, totally sacrificing their real financial security. And here we are, the big one, mistake number 4, the readiness illusion. Remember that massively expensive trap I teased earlier? This is it. It is the huge mistake of waiting to feel fully ready before you start investing or launching that side hustle. So many beginners convince themselves they need 10 grand in the bank, or a flawless business plan, or some magical insider knowledge before taking even a single step. But let's do a reality check. As the source beautifully puts it, money and skills compound with time, not perfection. The whole idea of waiting until you're perfectly ready is a complete myth. Your biggest asset is time, and losing it because you're waiting for the stars to perfectly align, that is totally devastating to your long-term wealth.
The math behind this is absolutely wild. If you compare the long-term advantage of starting today with just $50 a month versus waiting 2 whole years to finally start with $200 a month, it's not even close. The person who starts investing a tiny amount today will absolutely crush the person who waits 2 years to start with 4 times the cash. Waiting isn't safe. It's by far the most expensive mistake on this list.
All right, finally, we arrive at mistake number 5, the silent drain. This is the ultimate logistical trap. You might know your exact salary down to the penny, but so many beginners have absolutely zero clue where $300 to $500 just silently disappears to every single month.
We are talking about the invisible leaks,
the random streaming subscriptions you forgot about, the constant food delivery fees, those daily little impulse buys. They add up incredibly fast and just stealthily drain your accounts dry. The source stresses a brutal truth here. You simply cannot fix what you do not track. If you can't see the leaks, how on earth can you plug them?
So here is the immediate, super accessible fix. Track it. Grab a free app or literally just open up the Notes app on your phone and write it down. Do it for 1 month. Just 1 month. Doing this instantly reveals exactly where your money is vanishing and exactly where you can effortlessly start cutting back.
Okay, let's do a rapid recap to lock this in. The 5 traps keeping you broke are: leaving your cash sitting in regular checking, relying totally on a single income, spending money just to look rich, waiting for perfection before you start investing, and finally, not tracking where your money is actually going.
Now, I want you to walk away from this explainer feeling completely empowered. Why? Because every single one of these traps is 100% fixable today. And the absolute best part, you do not need any extra money to do it. You don't need a huge bonus or a massive raise. You just need to start making more intentional decisions with the money you already have.
If you're fired up and want to dive even deeper, the source material actually points over to Wealth Decode's full guide called Making Your First $1,000 Online. If you're looking to fix your finances from zero, that is a fantastic next step. And of course, they remind readers to subscribe for more real money advice based on these exact fundamentals. So, to wrap up this explainer, I want to turn the tables and ask you, which one of these mistakes hit a little closer to home? Was it the account illusion, the readiness illusion? Take a second, really think about it, and drop a comment below. I love reading every single one and seeing how you're applying this stuff. Keep making those smart moves, and I'll see you in the next explainer.